So when you're making a robot duel, it's very important to note that you have to know how to transition into one first before we actually go and make a robot duel. Now, it should, if you are starting out as duel making, you're like, oh yeah, I should make a duel robot, it'll diversify my gameplay. Then here's some things to note. Let's say you want to enter while two icons are same gravity, right? It's ball, cube, dual ball, dual spider, same gravity, whatever. It's important to note they have to be different gravity so that they can enter in properly. Because as you can see here, they're same gravity, but the robot can't do that. The robot cannot do that. In normal mode, it does not do that, where the two robots are same gravity, but in the editor they do, similar to how dual wave and cube are like. But dual wave and cube is more well known for some reason, because people like making cube and wave duels, which you shouldn't. I'll go into more of that later, but it's also important to note not to do this in your editor, so just keep that in mind. Anyways, so about robot duels, they're very similar to cube duels. You can't really do much with them, although you could still do more than what you can do with a cube duel. So this video will probably not be that long. You can always do the alternating robot jump. Let me make one real quick. Yeah, something like this. An alternating robot jump, it's not difficult to make. The alternating robot jumps are actually easier to make than alternating cube jumps, because similar to ball, black orbs just do the work for you. Not do the work for you, but they prevent it from jumping so that the other one can just do their own thing. Which is why you can make alternating robot jumps a lot easier than alternating cube jumps. And I don't know why people don't add this more. Maybe because it's more insane demon difficulty rather than extreme or anything below that. I would recommend alternating robot jumps. But now we have stuff. What I think makes robot more diversified than the cube, it's when using dash orbs. Now, let me give an example. So let's say we have this right here. We have our standard dash orb. Now you can make some really interesting gimmicks with this. It actually does look pretty cool. You see how they cross over? Now you could do this with a lot of game modes. A lot of game modes you can do this whole... You can do this with cube, you can do this... Oh, well, not as long as cube, because cube doesn't jump as high. You can do this with ball, spider, and pretty much any game mode aside from ship and UFO and wave. Actually, no, you can do it with wave. But other than that, yeah, it's a pretty cool gimmick. It does only require you to hold, but it's a good transition, and plus, it's good filler gameplay. Now, there isn't really much else you can do with a robot. You can make one mini and do the stuff like this, but other than that, it's pretty similar to just regular alternating cube, or just regular cube duels. So let's say we need to prevent people from cheesing this. Just add a ceiling full of spikes, and boom, we have created a successful duel part. Now, you can do quirky things with it, but I wouldn't recommend too much going way too off the rails with a robot duel, because it can get buggy. It can actually get pretty buggy, just like cube, although I think you have more leeway with a robot, because black orbs kind of do the work for you. Yeah, that's about it for robot duels. And always remember to transition into them correctly. And don't make it symmetrical. I never mentioned this before. Never make symmetrical duels. They're so boring. It's just a waste of a duel, similar to Swingcopter. It's just nothing useful. It's not interesting. It's not cool. It's just whatever. Filler. You don't put effort into a symmetrical duel. You just can't do anything special with it. It's just a symmetrical duel. Alright, that's about it. So I forgot to mention a few things before I finished editing the robot duels video that I forgot to mention things about green orbs. Yeah, I mentioned in cube duels green orbs are good for alternating cube jumps, and the same applies here. But I should also mention this for robot as well because it applies the same here. Now, as we can see here, reverse gravity dash orbs are also really good for robot duels and other duels as well. As you can see here, it does a bunch of crossing. But I should also mention that green orbs also work well in ball duels. I didn't add one in the ball duel section because I just kind of forgot. But I will probably add one in the spider section. If I don't sue me. Don't cancel me on Twitter or x.com. Anyways, just added this little ending.